I am here with Brandon Coles from Evolution Tattoos, my favorite tattoo artist, and we've got a couple more things to talk about, and that is what to do before you get your tattoo, how to prepare, and then aftercare, which I think most people don't really think about. They just walk in and do it, but they're not really prepared.
Yeah, the tattoo aspect of it, but right. It's like, okay, what should I do? Well, first and foremost, when if you have an appointment, let's say at noon, you want to make sure you eat a good breakfast, keep that blood sugar, up nice and high.
What happens if you don't? See, I don't think people know that.
See, and what can happen, you get low blood sugar, you get worked up over the tattoo, that first line runs, you get get a little lightheaded, and next thing you know, you're kind of on the ground, waking up, going, where am I, and why are these weird people, standing around me, staring, going, are you okay? It actually is very common in the tattoo industry to have people get a little too excited about it, and once that needle hits, well, then they call and they're like, hey, God, I'm unconscious. What should I do? You call them back. So make sure that that you eat something before you come. Kind of keep that blood sugar up. Don't drink.
No alcohol.
Yeah, it kind of thins the blood a little bit and can make that heal up process a little bit harder.
Okay, so that's why people don't necessarily drink alcohol.
Absolutely.
The healing process.
The heal up, and also there's aside from the making horrible decisions,
tattoo decisions.
Yeah, when you're drunk, suddenly that Betty Boop that we were talking about, sounds like the greatest idea
I always
ever.
heard something about your blood thins and you bleed and.
Absolutely. I've actually, in my experience, people who've had a beer or two, they don't really bleed any more than the next person. The problem that I've noticed that we have most of all is people not being able to control their bodies when they have that little bit of inebriation going in. So if you have a design that requires a straight line, and suddenly you can't tell your arm to sit down and fly right, and you're doing that, and next thing you know, that straight line looks like something that's in the Pacific Ocean. Not exactly the best of scenarios.
What type of so you don't want to be drinking, but what type of maybe topical ointment or something can somebody put on?
Right.
That's what they're thinking as well. Okay, if I can't drink, what can I do to numb pain?
Absolutely, kind of bring it down a little bit. And there are some products out there like Sustain and like there's a Band-Aid wash. Basically, you're looking for something lidocaine with a lot of lidocaine in it that'll kind of help you out. The problem is with a lot of those, it really only takes effect after the skin is broken. So you're going to be getting the tattoo, but you really won't be getting a lot of the numbing benefits out of it. Now there are products out there that have a little bit more lidocaine than standard stuff. As weird as it sounds, stuff called Analese, which you can get at sex shops, which have a whole bunch of lidocaine in it. Not exactly the easiest sell to walk in and be like, excuse me, I need this for my tattoo.
I did not know this.
Yeah, I try not to put it out there too much. Not to have anything against the sex industry, but yikes, I just want to buy stock before I do. The other thing is, you want to if you have a friendly plastic surgeon doctor. That you can talk to, you can talk to them, and they'll actually give you the prescription stuff that they use a lot in their procedures, and that stuff is really good. They have actual like lidocaine patches that you can put on an hour or two before you get your tattoo, and it'll cut the pain down dramatically on it.
Good to know.
Yeah, so there's ways you can kind of get around that.
Well, everybody wants to know.
Absolutely, tattoos, they hurt. There's no way around that. You'll never be able to get one that's totally painless, unless you have a really friendly doctor that will totally knock you out. But aside from that, you're going to feel a little bit of a pinch.
So now, after we get a tattoo, what's the aftercare procedure?
Generally, the funny thing in the industry is, you line up 10 different tattoo artists, you'll get 10 different ways to heal up your tattoo. The bottom line, when it comes down to everything that I want everybody to know is that, we're not doctors. And never to take our advice over like a physician's advice on anything. Like the physician looks at you and says, hey, you got to, put triple antibiotic on that. You put triple antibiotic on that. We don't know. We can draw pretty pictures. Typically, what I do for and tell my clients to do is once I wrap it up, I'll be putting like a little bit of Vaseline on it, and generally a barrier, whether it be Saran wrap or a paper towel, something to just kind of keep it away from keep it away from the clothing. I tell them to keep that on for about 2 hours. Then I want them to jump in the shower, and I want them to turn the water up, well, build the water up to hot. I know, it's, not exactly the funnest, believe me, if I didn't do it on myself, I wouldn't tell anybody else to do it. But you build it up to hot, like almost as hot as you can stand it, and you just let it hit off there for, about 10 or 15 minutes. Basically what's going to happen is that Vaseline is going to allow the platelets and the plasma, basically your body's trying to make a scab, because it's an open wound and your body's trying to heal. The Vaseline will let that kind of come to the surface, and then you want it to kind of get off your skin and kind of get that goop away. Then I tell them they can either start on a little Aquaphor, which I generally recommend Aquaphor. Some tattoo artists will say vitamin A and D.
Aquaphor you can get at Walgreens.
Absolutely, yeah. Walgreens, Walmart. It's not like this stuff is really hard to come by. There's also you just use a little bit of that a few times a day for first week, and just kind of keep the tightness away. There's two different unpleasant times, let's say, with your tattoo. The first off, of course, is getting it. The second off is the healing up process when it hits about between day 5 and 7. And that's when you start getting your shedding process. That's when it itches like no other. Yes, and if it's really dry, it'll itch.
And don't scratch.
Yeah, exactly. Don't scratch it. You're going to want to, but like more than anything else you've done in your life. When I personally got my back done, I wanted to run out to the closest pine tree I could find and just go bear style on it.
So now, if someone does scratch, what are they doing to the tattoo?
What could happen is, they open up the tattoo and allow for an infection to really, kind of get in there a lot easier.
They're messing up the color too, aren't they?
Absolutely. An infection can pull out color. It can, it won't ruin the design. It's something that a tattoo artist can fix if there's problems with it. But better just to have like a beautiful piece in one shot and not have to worry about it. And after that, you go through a shedding process. It's going to be there and just be a rocking tattoo. The other way that that is just kind of coming up online a little bit more now is the use of Tegaderm. Tegaderm is basically the stuff that they use in hospitals. They use it for like burn victims, and it's almost like a synthetic skin. The way that works is it just goes straight onto the tattoo without any Vaseline or any other things on it. It seals the tattoo, and you just leave that on, and you don't scrub it off. You don't do anything like that. You just essentially leave it on there for there's also talk about how long one should leave it on there. I personally tell people at least 4 days. The others that I know, they tell them after 1 day, come back and we'll reapply it again.
So where do you get it?
The Tegaderm is actually, it's a medical product. You really can't get it like so much like in a Walmart or anything like that. Okay. A lot of tattoo supply places are starting to carry it now, and medical supplies. So it's one way that you can do like if there's a little tattoo. Especially here in Las Vegas, we have a lot of people who they're here for vacation. They want to go out and they want to hit the pools and all that kind of good stuff after. Tegaderm is the only thing that I can put on that will actually keep stay in the pool, and it won't be a problem like the chlorine and all that good stuff won't affect it. So won't totally ruin your trip to Water World or wherever. So you can still get away with some some funness on it. But yeah, those are really the two ways that are that I personally use. But like I said, you're going to line up 10 tattoo artists. You're going to get 10 different ways to do it. Other artists will say oh, don't wrap it up, never wrap it up, don't put anything on it, just let it heal out. Other tattoo artists say slather nothing but Jergens on it and everything will be fine. Listen to your tattoo artist and find out what he recommends, or he or she, excuse me, and make sure that it seems like something that you can actually put up with before you get it done. Like it's going to itch. Really? How bad? But it's always those in those areas that you can never quite scratch. But that's why partners are fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to know about tattoos. And if you have any more questions, you can always go to askthehottie.com or just send us a question here on the YouTube channel. Thanks.